All right, so we're diving deep into Alex Jones this time.
Yeah, yeah.
But not just the usual, headlines.
Right.
The stuff that everybody already knows.
Okay.
You sent over a really interesting mix of stuff.
Yeah.
We've got this article from like a health and wellness site called Nutrify.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's this piece from a UK tabloid, The Express.
Interesting.
And a Reddit thread.
Ooh, those are always good.
Which I have a feeling is going to be very entertaining.
Yeah.
And then get this.
Right.
A YouTuber did a 30-day experiment with Jones's products.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's commitment.
Yeah, so we're talking about weight loss, conspiracy theories, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What really stood out to you from all this stuff?
You know what I find fascinating is how Jones kind of intertwines this idea of personal transformation with his business ventures.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a marketing tactic.
Oh, yeah.
As old as time.
Hold it.
But with his personality.
Oh, yeah?
It takes on a whole other dimension.
It does. It's like he's selling a lifestyle, not just a product.
Exactly.
So let's start with this whole weight loss thing.
Okay.
The Nutrify article, it suggests it could be genuine, like he really did decide to get healthy.
Yeah.
Or it could be a rebrand, or it could be a marketing ploy to sell his supplements.
Right.
And then there's the Express article.
Yeah.
Now this is where it gets a little confusing.
How so?
It's about a Welsh TV presenter, also named Alex Jones.
Oh, wow.
Who is all about healthy eating and body positivity.
Okay.
After having a baby.
Got it.
So completely different.
Very different.
From the Alex Jones we're talking about.
Right.
But just to add to the confusion.
Yeah.
And then we've got this Reddit thread.
Oh, yeah. What's the Reddit on this?
They are just roasting his super male vitality supplement.
Okay.
Saying the before and after photos look exactly the same.
Oh, really?
Like there's no difference at all.
Wow.
So
it's interesting how all of this kind of brings together body image and marketing, You've got these two Alex Joneses.
Two of them.
Both navigating these themes,
Yeah.
but in such different ways.
Totally opposite ends of the spectrum.
Right, and then you add in the other Alex Jones.
The one we're actually here to talk about.
Yeah, the conspiracy theories and all that.
Exactly.
It just adds a whole other layer of complexity.
It really does.
Yeah.
So let's unpack this whole weight loss thing a little bit more.
Okay.
Starting with that Nutrify article.
Right.
They seem pretty neutral about it all. They acknowledge that people are talking about Jones's transformation.
Yeah.
But they also point out all the speculation surrounding it.
That's fair. Yeah, they make a good point about, maybe he just genuinely wanted to get healthier.
True.
I mean, everyone's talking about well-being these days.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Right.
But they also say that it could be more calculated.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Like a way to soften his image.
Interesting.
To appear more, fit and healthy. Maybe to appeal to a wider audience.
Right, and to not forget the business side of things.
Exactly.
He's got all those supplements and products, and his weight loss reel or not becomes a really powerful marketing tool.
Oh, totally.
It's like, look what I achieved.
Exactly.
You can too.
And then you have that Reddit thread where people are calling BS.
Oh, yeah, those Redditors don't hold back.
No, they don't.
What are they saying?
They're saying there's no change in those super male vitality photos.
Oh, wow. So they're saying it's a scam.
Pretty much. Like it's bait and switch.
Yeah.
Preying on people's insecurities.
Right.
To sell a product.
Which brings up a good question.
What is that?
What makes people buy into these products in the first place?
Yeah.
Is it really a desire for self-improvement? Or are they just being manipulated?
By marketing.
Yeah. Clever marketing that plays on our anxieties.
Yeah. Especially with someone like Alex Jones.
Right.
Who's built a career on fear.
And distrust.
Exactly.
It makes you wonder if his followers are just more susceptible
to this kind of stuff.
Yeah, because they already believe the world is out to get them.
Right, like they're already primed for it.
Exactly.
Oh man, this is getting deep.
It is, isn't it?
But it's fascinating.
It is.
So we've got Alex Jones selling supplements.
Yeah.
And then we have the other Alex Jones.
The TV presenter.
Right.
Yeah.
Talking about healthy living and body positivity.
Young's are having a baby.
Yeah. It's such a contrast.
It really is.
It's like two completely different approaches.
To personal transformation.
Yeah.
On one hand, you have self-acceptance, embracing your body.
Yeah.
And on the other, you have someone profiting from insecurities.
And anxiety.
It makes you think about the ethics of all this.
For sure.
Especially when it comes to health and wellness.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of this whole health and wellness thing.
Yeah.
We've got this YouTuber who decided to go all in.
Okay.
On Alex Jones's world for 30 days.
What do you mean?
He tried to follow all of Jones's health advice.
Wow.
And he used his products.
Like what kind of products?
He used Super Male Vitality,
Okay.
the Biopack.
Oh, wow.
And he even bought a fluoride filter.
Fluoride filter.
Because of all the stuff Jones says about fluoride.
Wow, so he really went all in.
He was committed.
That's incredible.
I know.
So what happened?
Well, he started out as a true believer,
Okay.
but the more he got into it,
Yeah.
the more disillusioned he became.
Really?
Yeah, the high prices, no noticeable effects,
Oh, wow.
and just the constant fear-mongering.
Yeah.
It just wore him down.
It's like he got sucked in
Totally.
to this whole narrative
Yeah.
that Jones has created.
And it's powerful.
Oh, yeah.
It really is.
It can be really seductive.
Especially for people who are looking for answers.
Or feeling vulnerable.
Exactly.
So how do we as consumers navigate all of this? How do we know what's genuine self-improvement
Right.
and what's just clever marketing?
Especially when someone like Alex Jones.
Blurs the lines.
Exactly.
That's the tough question, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It really is.
I think it starts with understanding the tactics at play.
Okay, so let's talk about those tactics.
All right.
So let's talk about those tactics. You mentioned Jones's business model being built on fear.
Yeah.
How does that connect to the conspiracy theories?
Well, think of it this way. He creates this narrative where everything is a threat. The government, the media scientists, even like everyday products like fluoride.
Oh yeah, he loves to talk about fluoride.
It's all about sowing those seeds of doubt, making people question everything they thought they knew
And then he comes in with his products.
as the solution
Right, and like the only way to protect yourself.
from all these threats.
Right.
It's pretty clever when you think about it.
It is. He's like the hero in his own story.
Exactly, the lone voice of truth.
The one who sees through the lies,
And of course, he has the solution
which you can conveniently buy.
on his website.
For a hefty price, I might add.
Of course.
This YouTuber talked about feeling isolated
Yeah.
and distrustful after a month of all this Jones content.
It can really warp your perception.
Oh,
It's like he got trapped in this bubble
Yeah.
where everything outside is a threat.
And that's the danger of fear-mongering, right?
Absolutely. Especially when it's presented so convincingly.
Jones does.
Yeah, he bypasses our critical thinking.
And taps into those primal instincts.
We're hardwired to respond to fear, you know?
Yeah, it's true.
And someone like Jones knows exactly how to use that.
So where do these conspiracy theories fit into all of this?
They're the fuel to the fire.
Okay, I like that.
The more outlandish the claim,
Yeah.
the more it feeds into that narrative.
Of distrust.
Wait.
Like chemtrails.
Oh yeah, the chemtrails. Turning frogs gay.
Don't forget about the gay frogs.
I mean, it's almost comical,
It is.
but it's effective.
Oh yeah, it makes people feel like they're in the know.
Like they have access to some secret truth that the rest of the world is missing.
It's like a secret club.
But the price of admission is your trust.
And potentially your health.
And your wallet.
Oh yeah, those supplements aren't cheap.
No, they're not.
So is it ethical?
To build a business on fear.
Yeah. To exploit people like that.
That's a tough one.
It is?
I mean, some people say it's a matter of personal choice.
Okay.
Like buyers beware.
Right.
But what about the people who are vulnerable?
Yeah, who are easily manipulated.
That's where it gets complicated.
It does.
It's about responsibility.
Whose responsibility?
Everyone's.
Oh,
I mean, Jones has a responsibility.
to be ethical.
Yeah, to use his platform responsibly.
But we also have a responsibility
Right, as consumers.
to be critical
We think for ourselves.
and not just buy into everything we hear.
Exactly.
So it's a two-way street.
It is.
So what's the takeaway here
Be skeptical,
of everything?
especially when someone is trying to sell you something.
Good advice.
Do your own research.
Yeah,
Talk to experts.
not just self-proclaimed experts.
Right, real experts.
And trust your gut.
If something feels off.
It probably is.
Yeah,
So basically be your own advocate.
exactly.
Don't let fear be your guide,
And don't let anyone dictate your reality.
no matter how persuasive they might be.
Even Alex Jones.
Okay, so to recap for our listeners, Jones's business is all about fear.
And exploiting that fear.
Right.
For profit.
We all have a responsibility to be critical thinkers.
And to be aware of the tactics being used.
So don't be a passive consumer.
Be an active participant.
Question everything.
Do your own research.
Trust your instincts.
You got it.
Now,
Right.
we can't ignore the ethical implications of all of this.
Right.
It's a complex issue,
It is.
but it's a conversation worth having.
Absolutely.
So let's dive into that a bit more.
In part 3.
We'll explore the gray areas
The nuances.
and maybe challenge some assumptions along the way. So where do we draw the line between, free speech and ethical responsibility?
That's the question, isn't it?
It really is.
And it's one that's been debated forever.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the principle of free speech,
Right? The right to say what you want,
even if it's unpopular.
or offensive to some people.
Exactly, but then there's the question of harm.
Like when someone's speech incites violence.
Right, or puts people in danger.
That's obviously crossing the line.
But what about when the harm is less obvious?
Like psychological harm,
Exactly, like when someone is using their speech to exploit people.
just to make money.
Right, and that's where it gets really tricky.
It does, because how do you measure that?
Exactly. And how do you prove intent?
It's not always clear.
No, it's not, and it also brings up the whole issue of personal responsibility.
Okay.
As consumers, we have a responsibility to be careful,
To think for ourselves.
to not just believe everything we hear,
Especially online.
especially online.
So it's not about censorship.
No.
It's about being informed.
Exactly. It's about giving people the tools to evaluate information,
To spot the BS.
right? To recognize when they're being manipulated.
Like this YouTuber.
Yeah, the one who spent 30 days in Alex Jones land,
He went in as a believer.
but came out feeling totally distrustful,
It's like he got lost in that echo chamber.
where everything outside is the enemy.
So how do we break out of these echo chambers?
It starts with being curious.
About different perspectives.
Yeah, don't be afraid to question your own beliefs.
And seek out different opinions.
Read stuff you disagree with.
Talk to people you disagree with.
Have those tough conversations.
Because that's where real learning happens.
Exactly. It's not about being right all the time.
It's about understanding.
And maybe realizing that you don't have all the answers.
I think that's a good lesson for all of us.
Me too.
So to our listener who want to know more about Alex Jones,
Yeah?
I hope this deep dive has been insightful.
I hope so too.
It's not just about Alex Jones
It's about all of us,
and how we navigate this crazy world of information.
where everyone has an agenda.
And everyone's trying to sell us something.
So be critical.
Be informed.
And most importantly,
Think for yourself.
don't let anyone else dictate your reality.
Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and keep diving deep